Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and if you are new, welcome. Today I'm sharing a collective review of 3 new to me scents that were released for this year's semi-annual sale. Starting with Mahogany Cherry. If you're a regular viewer of my channel, I've made it no secret that I am a fan of the seasonal mahogany scents that get released, including the OG Mahogany Teakwood Intense, which is available year-round. So when I saw that this candle was getting released for the semi-annual sale, I had to give it a try. When I first smelled this candle in store, it took me by surprise and it wasn't at all what I expected it to be. Yet I was intrigued, and while I found it to be a bit of a weird scent combination, I also found it to be interesting and unique. The listed scent notes for Mahogany Cherry are bright cherry, rich mahogany, and bright vetiver. This is a fragrance where what you get on cold is pretty much the scent you'll get while lit. The cherry note in this candle doesn't lean bright, sweet, and fruity, nor is it artificially candied sweet or medicinal. It does have a subtle sweetness to it and leans more towards being a warm, dark cherry scent. I was expecting this scent to have a more pronounced mahogany wood note with a cologne like presence, and while it does lean masculine, it isn't a heavy cologne fragrance. The mahogany note plays more so in the background of the cherry, and the vetiver is also more of a subtle supporting note that I notice more on warm than I get on cold. The vetiver adds a smooth, leathery, slightly smoky undertone to the scent profile, while both the vetiver and mahogany notes add depth to the cherry. If you find that you don't usually enjoy the other mahogany scents due to the mahogany wood note being the star of the show or making the scent have too much of a cologne presence, then you may be able to enjoy this candle, but you'll have to like cherry notes and home fragrance that lean toward the masculine side. This isn't your perfect in pink or sweetheart cherry type of fragrance. On warm, the scent comes off to be more rich and sophisticated smelling than what I initially got on cold, and the more I burn it, the more I'm finding I enjoy it. I think this candle makes a good year-round scent because it's not too warm or heavy for the spring and summer, yet it's not too bright and fruity for the fall and winter. I think this makes a great wind-down evening scent, and I like how unique and different it is, making it stand out from anything I currently have in my stash. I'm currently on my 4th burn, and so far I have zero complaints when it comes to the burn quality. The wicks aren't burning too hot and fast with high flames or soot. It pulls out nice and evenly and creates a deep wax pull, and the wicks haven't gotten puny on me so far. I've tested this candle in both my open and closed concept, and the scent was present and noticeable in both areas without being overpowering. The scent was able to fill my open concept, so I rate it at a strong medium 7 out of 10. However, in my bedroom, it hits the high range at an 8 out of 10. The scent starts to project prior to being fully pulled out, so it quickly and easily fills my bedroom space, and the scent also lingers for quite a while after the flames are extinguished. This isn't a candle I feel like I need to stock up on. However, I wouldn't mind repurchasing another one to revisit the fragrance again during the fall and winter months. I have a feeling once this one is gone, it probably won't return, so if this sounds like a scent you'd enjoy, I recommend at least purchasing it once to try it out. Let me know if you smelled this one in store, what you thought of it, and if you purchased it and burned it, what are your thoughts? Next up, we have Honolulu Sun. When this fragrance was out in candle form, and I believe Body Cure too, I didn't get the chance to try it. I wasn't really into tropical fragrances back then, but now I love them, so I was happy to give this one a try during the semi-annual sale, especially with it being a new to me scent. On cold, I didn't feel like it was anything groundbreaking or super unique, but after burning it several times, I found it to be a well done tropical fruity fragrance. The scent notes for Honolulu Sun are fresh island coconut, Pacific palm, and driftwood. On cold and while lit, this is a smooth tropical fruity fragrance that transports you to Hawaii. It has the right amount of sweetness to it that gives you that beachy, fruity, tropical aroma while also having a relaxing vibe to it. It's not listed in the scent notes, but I do detect pineapple in this fragrance alongside the coconut. The pineapple isn't pungent, tart, or acidic. It's a sweet pineapple note that doesn't dominate the coconut. Both the palm and driftwood notes are subtle, so there isn't a strong green or woodsy presence to this fragrance. They are supporting notes that I feel adds balance to the fragrance and tweaks it a bit so that it doesn't smell exactly like the other tropical fruity scents that Bath & Body Works offers during the summertime. This isn't a beachy sunscreen scent like Meet Me in Miami, and it isn't a sweet and creamy pina colada fragrance. And it also doesn't come off as a sweet, dominant, beachy coconut scent like Waikiki Beach. I also feel the addition of the palm adds a subtle freshness to this tropical scent, making it more of a relaxing summertime candle versus a fun and fruity tropical scent. It's a tropical vacation in a jar that is well balanced and smells amazing, so if you like refreshing tropical scents, I recommend snagging this one. When it comes to the burn quality, this candle burns a little hot and fast. On the first burn, before it was completely pulled out, the flames were high, so I had to extinguish it and give the wicks a slight trim so it wouldn't burn too hot or sooty. On the second burn, this candle pulled out fairly quickly, I would say within half an hour, so I would keep the burn time to 3 hours max in order to avoid high flames and soot. Here on the second burn, the wax pool is still nice and clean with no soot accumulated on the jar. I placed this candle in both my open and closed concept, and in both areas it performed in the medium range. In my open concept, it was more of a subtle medium of a 6 to 6.5 out of 10, so noticeable and present, but soft without being too much of a light background fragrance. In my bedroom, I rated at a solid 7 to 7.5 out of 10. The fragrance started to project prior to being fully pulled out, filled my entire bedroom space, and was consistently noticeable without me going easily nose blind to it. I knew I would enjoy this candle based off of the cold sniff, but I didn't expect to love it, so I repurchased it to put aside for next summer in case it doesn't return. This is a beautiful, relaxing, tropical fragrance, and I'm glad I got the chance to experience it. If you got your hands on this one during the semi-annual sale, let me know your thoughts about it. Were you happy to see this one return? And last but not least, we have Oceanside, which is another returning scent. When I smelled this candle for the first time, I felt it was reminiscent to some of the other fresh aquatic scents we get from Bath & Body Works, such as Hibiscus Waterfalls, Eucalyptus Rain, Turquoise Waters, and even the newly released Morning Rainstorm. I love that fragrance profile, and with this cute summery packaging, there was no way I was leaving this one behind. Oceanside has listed scent notes of sun-ripened citrus, warm sand, and refreshing ocean air. Oceanside isn't a briny, salty, oceanic scent, nor is it a sharp aquatic cologne masculine-leaning fragrance. Instead, it's a fresh and clean ozonic scent that doesn't cross the line of being a powdery cotton linen or laundry detergent fragrance. It has a refreshingly smooth, airy quality to its scent profile that I feel makes this fragrance an easily enjoyable one. When it comes to the warm sand note, that listed note in home fragrance can often come across as a sunscreen note or sometimes sandalwood, but I'm not getting any orange blossom or neroli, which would lend this a solar floral scent. I do feel there could be a touch of sandalwood in here paired with the citrusy bergamot and the fresh ocean air accord because there is a subtle creaminess at the base of this fragrance that smooths out the scent and keeps the bergamot from being too high pitched. It also allows the fragrance to be more soothing and relaxing despite being a fresh scent. There's also a soft touch of sweetness within this fragrance that tones the citrusy bergamot and pairs nicely with the overall scent profile. It gives the fragrance a pleasant aquatic dewy feel, providing more of a clean ocean air atmosphere versus being a salty, beachy, solar aquatic like sea salt and neroli, which needs to return. This isn't similar to Sea Salt Coast, which was a repackage of Sea Salt Caribbean from last summer. It's not a dupe of You, Me, and the Sea. It's not cologne like Deep Blue Sea. It doesn't remind me of Sea Salt and Cells, nor is it similar to Surf Shop. It's more so in the scent family of Hibiscus Waterfalls and Morning Rainstorm. So if you enjoyed those scent profiles, you'll more than likely enjoy this one. It's a well done, fresh and soothing aquatic fragrance that can be enjoyed year round and definitely in the spring and summer months. Oceanside has been performing pretty good so far. It hasn't struggled to pull out during the first initial burns. It didn't start off burning hot and fast, and it creates a nice, deep, and even wax pool. I haven't noticed any soot, and the wax pool isn't discolored. Things could change as I get to the halfway mark, but so far so good as far as the burn quality. When placed in my open concept, Oceanside mostly filled the room it was placed in, which was in my living room, and was a bit on the soft side, but still had a presence, so I rated in the low-medium range of a 5 out of 10 in a large open space. In my bedroom, however, it was on the strong medium side of a solid 7 out of 10. The fragrance filled my entire bedroom space without being too light or too strong and had more of a noticeable fragrance projection prior to being fully pulled out. The scent was noticeable the entire time I was present in the room, so I didn't have to walk in and out to smell the scent. Overall, this is a room-filling mid-range performer. When it comes to enjoying this one in my open concept space, I could pop this one into a hurricane to get it to perform a little stronger. However, since it performs good in my bedroom space and I love the scent, I decided to repurchase it. The scent profile is up my alley and I love the packaging, and I recommend it if you enjoy smooth aquatics without a cologne presence. Let me know your thoughts on this one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.